Hey, what is going on, Twintendo Nation? Hope you're having an awesome day. Now, I've been recently rewatching the Pokemon anime and completely forgot how many rivals Ash has had over the last 20 years. From little rivalries to reoccurring ones across multiple series, we know Ash is always up for a battle with another trainer. But who amongst all of his rivals can claim to be the strongest of them all? Well, in today's video, I'll be doing my best to find the answer to that question. Now, for someone to qualify as one of Ash's rivals, they would either need to be a strong trainer who consistently appears in the anime who likes to challenge Ash to a battle, or have a well fought battle against Ash in one of the region championships. So with that criteria in mind, there have been many trainers that Ash could consider a rival. However, I've narrowed it down to just 5. These aren't necessarily my favourite of Ash's rivals, they're just the strongest of the bunch. So before we start the video, question of the day to you guys: who is your favourite of Ash's rivals? Let me know who it is and why in the comments section below. I'm also doing a giveaway for a copy of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon over on Twitter and Instagram respectively, so if you'd like to enter to win a copy of one of the games, make sure to follow the links in the description. One of them is going to be on Twitter, so Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon is going to be on Twitter and Pokemon Ultra Moon will be on my Instagram account, and basically it's very straightforward. Just follow the instructions on those accounts and you'll be in a chance to win one of the games. And finally, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, it really helps out the channel, and if you like what you see and want to see more videos like this, then hit the subscribe button down below as well. And with all that out the way guys, let's start the video. Starting off the video is the only rival who makes an appearance in both the games and the anime. This rival of Ash's is known as Barry. Now, although Barry isn't considered as one of Ash's main rivals, Barry surprised fans of the Diamond and Pearl anime by becoming a reoccurring opponent in the series. Barry first made his appearance in the episode Barry's Busting Out All Over, and before anyone mentions anything, yes, I know how bad that sounds. Like, seriously, who thought that would be a good idea for an episode title? Anyway, with episode title aside, Ash and Barry's rivalry begins after the two have a disagreement over their training methods, as Barry's training methods are very similar to Paul's, whose methods are vastly different to Ash's. However, after losing to Ash in battle and watching him defeat the Hearthstone City gym leader Fantina, Barry realises how good Ash's techniques actually are. Ash and Barry continue to meet up throughout the series, with Ash winning the majority of the battles. However, Barry has won one battle against Ash in a one-on-one battle against Ash's newly caught Gibble. So now that we know the backstory between Barry and Ash, let's look at Barry's team. Barry has 6 Pokemon on his team, with his main Pokemon being his powerhouse Empoleon. He also has a Staraptor, Roserade, Heracross, Skarmory and Hitmonlee, which make up the rest of a powerful team. Although we didn't get a great look at Barry's team throughout the Diamond and Pearl series, we know that it must have been tough, as they helped him reach the top 16 of the Sinnoh League, as well as runner-up in the Twin Leaves Festival Battle Challenge. Following on from Barry is probably the most famous of Ash's rivals amongst the growing list. A rivalry that spawned in the first ever episode. This is of course none other than Mr. Gary Oak. Before moving to the Sinnoh region and becoming a Pokemon researcher, Gary used to be a formidable Pokemon trainer and would often be at odds with Ash, as the two had a strong rivalry from childhood. Even though Ash and Gary had such a long rivalry, the two don't actually battle as many times as you would expect. In fact, the first battle between the two occurred during the end of the second season of the anime, as Ash's Pikachu lost a one-on-one battle to Gary's Eevee. We also know Ash has always been playing catch up to Gary throughout the anime, as we know Gary is a very powerful trainer and always one step ahead of Ash. I mean, just look at his badge case. The animators gave him 10 badges just to show how good he was. Eventually though, Ash and Gary meet in the Johto League finals with one of the best fights in the anime's 20-year-long history. With Ash down to his last Pokemon Charizard against Gary's 3 remaining Pokemon, Ash somehow defies the odds and wins the battle, even with the clear type disadvantage in the final part of the battle against Gary's Blastoise. After the battle, Gary decides to call it a day for being a Pokemon trainer and becomes a Pokemon researcher. However, that doesn't mean that was the last battle between the two, as before Ash sets off to the Sinnoh region, Ash challenges Gary to a one-on-one battle with Ash's Pikachu against Gary's Electivire, with Pikachu losing the battle. Although Ash won the most important battle between the two, Ash has lost more to Gary than he has actually won. But the most impressive factor about Gary is the sheer volume of Pokemon he has at his disposal, meaning his team is one of the most versatile we've seen to date. Gary's full list of Pokemon that we know about contains Blastoise, Umbreon, Electivire, Krabby, Nidoking, Arcanine, Dodrio, Nidoqueen, Magmar, Scizor, Golem, and as well as Pokemon we haven't seen in battle such as Pinsir, Houndoom, Fearow, Alakazam, Skarmory, and Kingdra. Looking at the sheer amount of Pokemon Gary owns, it was a surprise he gave up his ambition as a Pokemon trainer, as he had incredible potential, and I have no doubt that he could have become one of the greatest trainers around. Next up is possibly Ash's biggest rival since Gary, or potentially his greatest rivalry we've seen so far. This rival is none other than Paul, who made his debut in the Diamond and Pearl series of the anime. At first we are led to believe Paul is a brand new trainer starting out his journey, when in fact he is on the same level as Ash, as he has travelled through Kanto, Johto and Hoenn, participating in their respective league conferences. However, after failing to win any of them, he returned to his native region of Sinnoh. Ash and Paul's rivalry began when the two met, and after having a 3-on-3 battle, neither trainer won as it ended in a tie. However, Paul's training methods were brought to light when he released one of the 3 Starlies he had just caught, calling it weak. And after beating Ash for the first time in the episode Different Strokes for Different Blokes, and can I just say, seriously, who is creating the episode names for Diamond and Pearl? Like, seriously, do they not understand that it sounds so wrong? But anyway, Paul brings their rivalry to a new level by calling Ash and his Turtwig pathetic, with Ash vowing never to lose again to him. After many battles throughout the series, with many ending in defeat for Ash, towards the end of the series, Ash and Paul meet at the Sinnoh League Championships with probably the best battle in the Pokemon series, and easily a fan favourite. Especially since the Chimchar Paul discarded helps Ash win in one of his toughest battles to date. And just like Gary, Paul has a very impressive amount of Pokemon at his disposal. I mean, as long as he isn't releasing them. These Pokemon include Electivire, Ninjask, Aggron, Gastrodon, Drapion, Frostlass, Torterra, Ursaring, Honchkrow, Weavile, Gliscor, Magmortar, Hariyama and Nidoking. So just looking at Paul's list of Pokemon, we can tell just how strong he is, and in my opinion, he just edges out Gary, as Paul's training methods and strategies in battle help bring out the best of his Pokemon. Coming in at the number 2 spot is an incredible trainer who gave us probably the best battle in the Pokemon series for a long time, and maybe overall. This trainer is Elan, who became one of Ash's many rivals towards the end of the X and Y anime series. Unlike Gary and Paul, there was no bad blood between the two trainers, as they had much respect for each other's strengths in battle. Although Elan made his appearance relatively late into the X and Y series, he actually made his debut in the Mega Evolution specials, which provided much of Elan's backstory. Throughout these specials, we can see Elan's true strength as a trainer, especially in the final episode, as he is tasked by his boss Lysandra to fight 10 trainers in a row with Mega Evolved Pokemon without losing to a single one. Somehow, Elan and his Mega Charizard X were able to overcome every battle, even the final one, which was against the Elite Four member Malva. It's fair to say that not just anybody could have done what Elan did, and his Charizard's resolve in battle showed just how powerful a trainer he really was. So how did a trainer as strong as Elan become rivals with Ash? Well, when Elan was on his travels, he was passing by when he noticed Ash's Greninja transform with its Battle Bond. Intrigued at this unique transformation, Elan challenged Ash's Greninja to a battle with his Charizard, with Elan coming out victorious. After coming across each other later on in the series, Elan challenged Ash to more battles, with his Metang beating Ash's Noivern and his Charizard beating Ash's Greninja yet again, albeit in a much closer match this time. The next time Elan and Ash would fight would be the final of the Kalos League Championships, with Elan only entering so he could once again compete with Ash, showing that he had taken a great interest in him. Leading up to the final, Elan had only used 2 of his Pokemon, Charizard and Metagross, so if it wasn't clear enough, Elan was a formidable foe. After one of the greatest fights in the history of the anime, Mega Charizard X just edges out Ash Greninja to win the Kalos Championship for Elan. Although he has less Pokemon than both Gary and Paul, I believe Elan's Pokemon are of higher quality, especially his Mega Charizard X, which was able to stay undefeated throughout the X and Y series, as well as beating 10 Mega Evolved Pokemon in a row in the 4th Mega Evolution special. However, despite all his strengths, there is one more rival who in my opinion just beats Elan in terms of strength. Now it wasn't easy deciding who should be number 1 on this list, as it was between Elan and the next trainer we're about to talk about. This trainer is the most mysterious on the list and in my mind the strongest of all of Ash's rivals. This trainer is Tobias, who eventually became the champion of the Sinnoh League. Now Tobias only appears at the end of the Diamond and Pearl anime and has very little interaction with Ash, as they only battle once in the semi-finals, so I was unsure whether to call him a rival or not. However, according to Cerebi, Tobias is listed as a rival, which is why I gave my explanation of what it takes to be one of Ash's rivals at the start of the video, which in this case, Tobias falls under the category of having a well fought battle in the league championships. Unlike the previous 4 rivals in this video, I can't really give a backstory to him other than the fact he is a super powerful trainer. According to Conway, another one of Ash's rivals in the Diamond and Pearl series, Tobias easily obtained all 8 gym badges to progress to the league semi-finals just by using one Pokemon, his Darkrai. The only time we see more than one Pokemon is in his battle against Ash, as not only does he have a Darkrai on his team, but also a Latios. Having 2 legendary Pokemon only adds to Tobias's mystery, and unfortunately we only get to see those 2 Pokemon, so who knows what his other Pokemon could have been. They could have been either 4 more legendaries, or just 4 measly Pidgeys, but unfortunately either way we'll never know. But for me, Tobias is definitely the strongest rival of them all. I think Elan would give Tobias a proper battle, but his Darkrai seems to be an absolute powerhouse, and I can't see many Pokemon taking it down. So big shout out to Ash's Sceptile for being the only Pokemon to do so. You're the real MVP. So those were Ash's top 5 strongest rivals. Let me know in the comments below who your favourite one is, and if you enjoyed the video and want to see more like this one, then make sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe if you're new. Also, if you want to enter the Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon giveaway, then make sure to check the links out in the description. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!